Yeah, if you speak English on these lifts, you get boned. Because it peels at the top, and that's where all the instructions I would read are. I don't know. I don't know if that even made sense. Anywho, let's go. You guys go to the back of the car. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, 68 Type 3. Yes, it's been on this channel before. Surprisingly, no new issues from the last time I was on here. We sorted out the fuel injection and stuff like that on this car. I'll make a playlist for the entire diatribe on what's going on with this. This one, hopefully, should be a fairly short episode. Only thing we have to do is replace the master. Also, apparently, there's a leak, water leak, somewhere, I think, on the driver's side. I got to call the owner to figure out more on that, because I think it might be the windshield gasket. But anywho, the major bulk of this episode, replace the master cylinder. It works, but it's losing fluid. So I haven't looked at it. Owner supplied a new master. If the master is leaking, to be leaking out the backside or one of the input lines, or it could be the remote reservoir lines that are just rotted. So we'll dive into that. The other thing we were supposed to do, I already fixed it because it was installation error on someone else's end. The car wasn't charging. Voltage regulator got put in wrong. Switched 2 wires, charges. So that's done. Mechanically fixed again. Didn't bring it along for the ride for that one. Sorry, it got here, I looked at it, and I was like, oh, there you go. Because we did put a new generator on this car, and I'm like, yeah, with new parts, they do crap out. But I'm like, really? Realistically, 2 months of, say, driving, if you add up hours, I didn't see it taking a crap that soon. So this episode, yeah, we're gonna shove it in a master cylinder. Hopefully it'll be a nice, short, sweet, fast one, and kick it out the door. Depending how long it goes, I might do a double header. We might work on the Super, because I got parts in for that. But all right, let me get this thing racked up in the air and join me underneath. All right, guys. Again, lighting under the car, absolutely phenomenal. Master cylinder, they're a little easier to change than Beetles. You do it from this side instead of playing the reverse Rhodesian the entire time. It's also the next day because it decided to storm yesterday, and audio was gonna be terrible. Metal roofs. Anywho. Let's get back to this. We're gonna change this. I was hoping, I did hose it off and take this plate down just to see what I was getting into. I was hoping it was the soft lines because it looks like there's a garden hose up in here. Doing that, the hard to soft line to the master, but it's not. It could be leaking because the entire front of this thing is wet, but we're just gonna replace it. I think it's the right thing to do. Also, we're gonna clean up all this, whatever's going on with this fuel stuff. It's not needed. It's overkill. And also the zip tie is holding it on. We'll do something ish about that as well. Again, sorry for the light. Your leg is in the way of my leg, so that's good. But let's start ripping this out. Again, hard to film. And don't know if this thing's gonna cooperate. I hope it does. Already have the master drilled, or bled down, at least a remote. So let's, boy. This line is at a real crap angle. Actually, I'll show you. It's like someone bought a kit and started at the back and came to the front. I mean, that is a spicy turn. So hopefully the flare nut's gonna cooperate. What I mean by that is run backwards and not screw up this line, because I don't want to screw up a line. Oh, someone put this on nicely. That cracked loose easily. Really? One did too. I thoroughly enjoy when brake lines, and I complain about this in all my videos, are installed nicely to where they undo. Let's pivot this light. Let's go with the creepy angle. Because I can see, I know you can't see, but it looks better than you. And it's story time, ghost telling. Hopefully I don't have anything up my nose. Actually, I don't care if I did. Anywho's, digressing and regressing. Let me get these lines off. Like I said, I already drained the reservoir, so hopefully I'm not going to have too much crap come out of this thing. I'm still expecting a bunch of crap. But, again, are these 2 wires? 3 wires, damn it. 2 wires, yeah. Wiggle. Get those out of the way. And we'll get these out of the way. All right. Full range of motion now. As I'm tightening it. You know, you gotta tighten it sometimes to loosen it. This wasn't one of those scenarios. I was just a dumb. But yeah, sometimes go forward to go backwards. The other thing the owner was saying, I talked to him last night. If you didn't know, I'm an after-hours shop. I open at 6 p.m. So, perfect for dinner phone calls. Yeah, there we go. I'll let that drain. But anyway, he's concerned about this. Yes, it is leaking. It's leaking out the backside. And the front side, like I said, is moist. Doesn't look like the switch is leaking. So that's a good thing. But yeah. Talked to him last night. He also said the back, one of the rear wheels was wet. So take a look at that. I did put my motive on it last night and pressurize the entire system, hence how I found some of the leaks. But as far as the rear goes, looking through the inspection covers, they're fine. Good news is, if I do need to replace wheel cylinders in the back, I have them. Because if you watch the other video with the blue car, I ended up going with Super Beetle rear brakes, or Super Beetle front wheel cylinders on the rear of that one, because the correct rear wheel cylinders for a Type 3 were going to take about a week to get to me. So the good thing about Volkswagens is they're basically Legos. If you know how to read specs on what you need, you can basically cheat them. And I am a firm believer in, cheating a system if I have to or can. Floor wrench. I've had this car on the channel before. I think I've said this. Diagnosing the fuel injection system on it and getting it working as best as I can without going to immediately tuck tail to go to carburetors. So it's good news, still working. But this is the first time I'm ever under this car. So I've never racked it up before. And yeah, immediately called the owner and said, hey, I'm cleaning up whatever you got going on under here with your fuel system, because I don't like it. And he chuckled and I chuckled, and I told him, no, seriously, I'm just going to do it. And I am. Told him I'm not even going to charge him for it. It annoys me. Because I like to make my life difficult. just for a 1/4 inch. Or it is just a 1/4 inch. Ah, come on. Really? Lube. Ah, you come here. Yeah, this master's never been out of this car, which is fine. There's a wrench. Goes nice and crusty. Get the lines out. Lines out. All right. We're just gonna pop lines out of the top because it's easier than trying to fight them off. Like I said, I'm gonna replace the soft lines going to this thing. There we go, there's one. Yeah, I don't know if it'll pick up, but that's like green. Oh, well, that's easy. It's like green garden hose or thing. Not for that, but yeah, we're gonna replace all the soft lines. Like I said, initially I thought the soft lines were leaking, and they probably are. I just couldn't get them to leak. There we go, get that guy out. Pull that out, but yeah, all right. Rear, I don't know what it'll pick up. Rear of the cylinder, definitely blown and leaking. And it's weird. It's so weird because, oh, focus, something focus. Yeah, that's, yeah, not the healthiest. Really surprised it was working. But yeah, so that's why we're going to be replacing this thing. Like I said, I did think initially the leaks he was seeing were just the soft lines leaking. Upon a further inspection, that's a lie, obviously. But yeah, what it's doing, like typical Beetles, if your cross member's wet, usually it's leaking internally. Yeah, that rod's wet too. All right, that's cool. Oh, that one's being stubborn. All right, let me cut some soft line for these things. These do have, yep, they do have the tops. And get them installed. I say this in all my videos, do not use fuel line. They make special line for this. You can use the German cloth stuff because, you know, that will work. I don't, I use some other stuff. But it's for brake reservoirs, remote reservoirs. So, all right, let me cut some line. I'll be right back and start putting this together. I'll probably just shove these lines on and show you the aftermath. But yeah, basically just pop them off, put new lines on, call them good. Because like I said, if they're not sealing, especially as nice as this fell off, this is probably the culprit in the leaky master cylinder. So it looks like up top, they have been replaced before. So that's good. All right, hoses are on, so and so forth. Let's get this master in. We got, what is going on? Come on. Come on, lines. There we go. In. Nope, not in. Oh, this is fun. Stop. Stop. In? I think we're in. I think we're in. I don't know. Are we? Light. Stay. All right. New hardware. Gonna put in like normal. If I can get new hardware into things, I don't like that. Let's go with longer ones. They're the same size, but they seem too small. I got longer bolts.
What I've done since I've changed them all.
Oh, I'm sorry if I'm a little disconnected. The you might be able to hear it in my mic. Got the old debates on, and yeah, interesting, say the least. Jeez. Go. Tighten this thing down. Bolts weren't going in, so I just ran a tap through it, and it's fine now. All right. Let's connect these soft lines, so get out of my way. Little lube, brake clean, whatever. Let them slide over these lines better or easier, more gooder, if you will. That should be fine. Back one. Back line, come on. Wiggle, 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 on. All right. All right, that should be good. Alrighty, that's on. Now let's get these things in. Tight. Snug. Hopefully it doesn't leak. All right, rear brake light switch. Snug. All right. Brake light switch. Wires connect there.
Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages.
All right, those are on. Let's bleed this thing. Or let's try to. Oh boy. First thing, you even see me, probably not. First thing I'm gonna do is hook up my power bleeder and pressurize the system and make sure everything that's connected is now, good. Make sure I connected. I don't think I tightened those one hoses. I did not. All right. I do put hose clamps on my reservoirs lines because I do run, they are standard hose sizes. So they're little bit bigger than they need to be. So with that said, I just throw a hose clamp on them and call them good. No harm, no foul. Doesn't hurt anything. All right, let's bleed this thing. I got my motive up top. It's pressurizing the system, so hopefully this is going to be an easy bleed.
And just the other day it came out where it was fully debunked. It's a nonsense story. He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
President Biden, debunk happened. All you have to do is listen to happened.
Stay. Yeah, I know you can't see what I'm doing. Bleeding brakes. I got many videos on it. It's not fun, it's not exciting, but it has to be done, obviously.
Cabinet office refused to endorse it this time. The vice president has endorsed it this time. So why? Why? They know him well. They serve him. Why are they not endorsing him?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from this.
Bleeder is completely out and nothing is happening. Okie dokes. What about the other side? We might need a wheel cylinder back here. Ah, crap. Or a line. Because they should flow. What do we got going on over here? Yeah, this one's flowing. Put the bleeder on. Weep. Let's get the air out. Also gonna flush it, let it run for a second or 7. Here comes the air. All right, that should be good. Tighten that. All right, so we're probably gonna have to replace wheel cylinder on this side. Why it's not flowing does not compute. And I'm thinking it's a line issue. Because yeah, this is out. I might break the soft line and see what's going on. Also, whoever put that soft line on, questionable at best. I'll bring you back here, show you what I'm talking about. All right, backs are good. Fronts. I think I'm loose enough to where I can just hopefully man. Flashlight. I have another one. I had 2. I grabbed the floor one. There we go. There it is. All right, fluid. Boop, 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 doop, boop, doop, doop, boop, boop, boop. No air. Snug it. Like, I am making a mess and I'm okay with it. Stop. Just stop. I need to drain that anyway. Now I have to pee. You know, because gravity. All right, this side. Yeah, the bleeding process of sides, I mean, yeah, it's not, it works. I just don't do it. Gonna crack that loose real quick. See if I get fluid coming out of there. Actually, I'm gonna crack it out of here, out of this line, because if it leaks out of the other end of the soft line, well, then we know the soft line isn't flowing. And then if it doesn't leak, I'll crack at the front side. But it's a T, so I mean, theoretically, it should flow regardless.
We have covered with the ACA has included to make sure that the $8,000 per person in the family get written off of healthcare. This guy wants some money, and they've tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again, and they're going to try again.
All right, no fluid. Crack this one. See if this gets fluid. I don't want to snap this line. This is terrible.
Recorded history.
Absolutely terribly,
The country
if you will.
reporting the devastating effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and violent sea levels. Former President, you vowed
Vice
to
Grip.
support your opponent's climate initiatives, but will you take any action?
All right, we got fluid leaking out of here. So we have an issue with the soft line,
Colleges and universities.
which is weird because it looks newer. And again, new doesn't mean good, but yeah, the soft line isn't flowing. Oh, let me change that pedal, but I want to make sure the front master isn't leaking. I'll take you along with me. Like I said, it's pressurized. It's been pressurized this whole time. It shouldn't have a leak. Oh, I mean, obviously, hopefully not. Yeah, everything's dry and then the lines are leaking. Maybe a little weep right there on that rear. Snug the rear down a little bit more, but the brake light switches, they're dry. Lines are dry. Yeah, I'll snug the rear down a little more and, excuse me, call it good. But I gotta change out this battery. I'll be back. All right, real quick. There are brakes. They are working. Do I have brake light switches? I'm gonna use you guys.
Yes, make the very
Ugh. Key on. Oh, jeez. I can't tell. Do I? Yes, I do. I saw them. I seen them. They're there. They are working. We didn't screw that system up. So, all right. Brakes are on. Gonna make a phone call. Well, it's late, but we're probably gonna end up changing a soft line and a wheel cylinder, probably the hard line too. Just make it all new on that side. I tend to do it. The lines don't look the gooderest. If you saw, they don't look the gooderest. So I'd rather just replace it all if I can. So let me make a phone call. Like I said, I think I have the parts. I know I have a wheel cylinder. So that's one thing. I just need, well, approval, because there are brakes. 3 out of 4 is what we got. So join me whenever I get an answer, probably in the morning, because like I said, it is late. All right, guys. Next day. Come on. Next day, wheel cylinder and soft line. I'm also going to replace all the hard lines. Perfect. Just go this way. All right. This is another new drum. I'm hoping those come out. What size are they? Probably my floor ratchet. Oh. Indeed it is. Viad. I hope you cooperate. Ho ho! Kind of surprised, actually. Weird. Even that's painted. That's cool. I don't even think I moved the nut. I'll hit it, obviously, to tighten it. But yeah, that drum's fairly newer. That wheel cylinder looks fairly newer. Brake shoes look good. Hardware looks good. Bring it in. I might not. Yeah. It's not leaking. No signs of anything. I might just replace the line set. Because if I don't, like I said, the other side's working. It's just not flowing. And just the way that this thing's set up, maybe I'll just replace the soft line. Scratch that. I'm going to replace the soft line and the line that goes to the splitter box. I mean, it's pretty simple reason. Man, a simple diagnosticals over here. Yeah, that's. Yeah. That line has seen better days. Hell, the crossover. All these lines have seen better days. But if I'm going to replace this, I'm going to replace this corroded one because I want to get it into the bracket, which is right here. So put that into the bracket, and that line actually looks fine. All right. So we will replace the soft line, this hard line, and then hopefully everything will work fine. I just have to get that nut loose. I might blow the shock off. In fact, that was awesome expert advice on my end. I am going to blow that shock off. Just because, didn't I have an extension cord over here? Be more helpful. Not a rocket surgeon. Damn well could be. Yep, sure did. Nope, found it. It's up there. Already found another one. Crap. All right, guys, new hard line made. Gonna pop that guy off and then slip it in there. I am gonna replace the soft line. I have one. I don't know why it's flowing now. I guess it's my problem. I don't know if it has an internal thing, and whenever I loosened it, it'll let it flow. I don't know. But it's flowing now, so it scares me. That is my expert diagnostics. Definitely recommending, yeah, I know you couldn't see what the hell I was doing the whole time. Oil compressor. Definitely recommending new steel lines. But yeah, new hard line, all there, new soft line actually in the bracket, to the bracket. That hard line looks fine, we're leaving it. But yeah, all the, I don't know if I can get you up here. All those metal lines, they're super corroded. And that block, distribution block, is at a weird angle. And you can probably tell, maybe, that it's also corroded in there. So, as always, I'll make recommendations. And it's just a recommendation, the thing's fine. No, it's not the, oh, it's the end of the world scenario. Where was I? Wheel cylinder? I mean, it was bleeding. Are you gonna leak still? I don't know if you could tell, but it was wet back here. I'll leave it open because it'll probably gravity bleed. All this can go back together. No idea where the other one is. Boink, boink. Oh, it's right there. All right. Pins in. Let's lower the car. I'll get my bleeder set up and we'll see if this side bleeds. I'll be right back. All right. Again, passenger side bled fine. Or, yeah, passenger side. This has a massive oil leak. All those push rod tubes are leaking crazily. All right, driver's side. Let's see what happens. Well, we have flow. Flow and bubbles. All right, something weird's going on. Because it was flowing, and then it wasn't, and then it was, and then it wasn't, and then it was. I'm gonna step on the pedal and maybe get that working, because something, it's flowing weird is what I'm getting at. And if I have to replace the wheel cylinder, I'm not opposed to that. It's just, well, I showed it. It's fine. On, open. I mean, it's bubbling. All right. What if I give you some help? Seems like that's all it needed. Okay, it probably had an air block in it to where the bleeder couldn't push enough. All right, drain the line. Put the line back on, and let's see if we can watch the flow. I want to make sure it has a decent, flow rate coming out of here. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Bubbles, fluids coming out. Oh yeah, she's flowing fine. All right, perfect. Yeah, I guess it just had like a air block that my bleeder couldn't push out. Or it was slowly pushing it, but you know what? Sometimes just push the pedal and make it work faster. I have to move my cart. And if you know anything about casters, they don't, Jesus. They don't like finding anything. Hey, perfect. All right. Come on, light. You were supposed to follow me, except I stepped on you, and now you're on the floor. So we're making progress. We're not. All right. Fuel system. Come on, guys. Hose this off. Oh yeah, let's just shoot it right into the light. All right, max that out. All right, I'm gonna try to do, or not try, gonna fix all of this. Fuel pressure regulator is not needed. So we're just gonna go from there to there, like it should be, and then get rid of these zip ties, and yeah, make it look a little cleaner. Because I asked the owner, I was like, what the hell is everything, what do you have actually going on down here? And he's like, well, I didn't know what the pressure put out, which is understandable. So, this is what I got going on. So we'll. Also, the other thing I'm not a fan of is worm. Does this really not have a slot on it? Worm clamps on injection. Do they work? Obviously they do, but they're going to be more prone to sprinking Deutsch. The worm clamps work? Yes. Obviously, because it's on this car and they're working. With that said, oh yeah, I got that thing stalled there. With that said, once they fail, there's a problem. And trust me, you'll know it because you'll have fuel spraying everywhere. All right, guys, best used tuber ever again. I'll bring in, that's mounted. I may or may not have not paid attention and my memory card got full. So yeah, I had that going on for me. Anyways, what the hell am I doing? Yeah, I need to mount this. Problem is, they're using that at the ground. I don't like it. I mean, I'm gonna keep it. I just don't like that, there's not really a better place to ground it under here, but I don't like the fact that it'll probably have high impedance. Because, you know, not clean grounding surface. But all this is good, it's tucked up. Should not be an issue. Let's get this on. Catch plate on. These wires don't look as terrible now. One zip tie should be good. All right, bring it in. Let's show you what we got going on. Cleaner look under here. All right, fuel pump is now not zip tied, but band clamped to the back of the beam. Lines run nice. This isn't kinked anymore. I don't know if it showed in the video or not, but that was kinked. But yeah, that's all the German line. I'm gonna recommend replacement. But yeah, now it's smooth. Lines are good. Master's up there, not leaking. Wheels are bled. Hopefully we're good to go. Let's lower this thing. Let me lower this, fire it up, and see what happens. We'll check the oil in this thing. Like I said, she is leaking, but I mean, it's not bad. See what we got. Oh yeah, plenty. Plenty. All right. I don't know how long it'll take to crank, but we'll give it a whirl. Fuel pump's on. Waiting for a tone change. You got a half tank. There we go. I swear this thing had an air leak or a vac leak. If you watch the other videos on this car, you know I fought it. Getting it running again, or running correctly. And I swear I heard a vacuum leak. It's not. It's the frickin' distributor. The points that fire the injectors is what's making that vacuum leak noise. So, weird, but accurate. So, all right, shut this thing down. Yeah, that hiss noise, if it's picking up on my mic, is not a vacuum leak. It is the distributor, the point contacts in it. If you didn't know, these things aren't like fuelie beetles and how they fire. The way these injectors fire is all off the distributor. Let me lower that. Yeah, there's a secondary set of points in like underneath the main plate. It's like split body. I don't know how to explain it. Very rarely do I work on fuelies to this model. Bugs, fairly common. Type 3s, not so much. I like the Type 3s more. What are they, F-Jet? Anywho, don't call me on what kind of jet it is, because the one's a D, one's an F or something like that. I can't remember. I think these are much simpler and easier to diagnose than the Beetles. Just throw that one out there. Yeah, the distributors fire the injectors, and it's not the distributor telling the computer to fire the injectors. The distributor itself, well, the distributor is telling the computer. It works completely. I don't know what I'm rambling about. What I'm getting at is it's completely different than a Beetle fuel injection system. So yeah, but runs, starts, drives. Hopefully I drove it in here. Don't know if I'm going to take it out for a test drive. Maybe just to test the brakes, but nothing extravagant. But yeah, I think this one's done. So you're either going to see a recap or we'll be in the car driving around. I gotta get on this Beetle now. Sitting here for, well, if you watched the last video on that Bug, I know. I'm segueing videos. Fuel gauge and try to get a wobble out of imbalance. So stay tuned to whatever next thing. I'm either closing this episode out because everything's good, or might drag out a brake, master cylinder change a little longer by doing a test drive. I don't know, I like to drive them. I gotta put gas in the car now anyway, because, I had the Exxon Valdez leak. Plan. Wasn't gonna do it, but wasn't gonna do it, do a test drive. I just did masters and a brake. There's a pedal. It works, should kick it out the door. But one thing I did do when I first got this car, I think I mentioned it in my intro, is charging. I had a misinstalled voltage regulator, and I want to make sure that's good. Obviously don't need to drive it, but driving it's more fun than sitting and watching it idle for 45 minutes. Plus it'll work through the rev range. Second is I still have that old wheel cylinder on the back. I want to make sure that it is functioning as it should. So I do want to get some heat in the drums and make sure that it doesn't blow, because this car is obviously still in my possession. Also want to get miles on it to make sure that everything else isn't going to leak, pop, or screw up. So just safety check. Plus it gives me a reason to drive it. I also adjusted timing when it came in here. I think the owner said that it was, he felt like it was overheating. The timing was about 2 to 3 more degrees than I wanted on it. Don't know why, but I backed it off some. So let's try it again. She's slow starting. I don't know if it picks up on mic, but you can really hear that fuel pump now. Alright, let me give this thing a little bit of time to warm up. Sort itself out, if you will. It sounds fine. Yeah, we'll give it time to warm up. I just want to move it back, make sure I didn't develop any leaks under it over the night. Plus settle the suspension some. Because what I can remember, every time I've driven this car, it is cold-natured. Or colder-natured. That looks good. She's running. Let me get the gates open, and we'll take this thing out. Alright, immediately I can tell you that brake, well, probably hasn't worked in a bit. Because when I hit it, well, she squealed pretty good. So at least I have an audible Well, I have a sound cue that it is doing something back there. Other than that, the car's running fine. I've only made it like 4 blocks, maybe 7. Might be the front, not sure. But I can tell you 100% the fuel pump is running. I might crawl under there and put an isolator in. Try to. Because it's right now, the pumps, it does have that, I don't know, foam around it. But it is directly mounted to, the frame head or beam. So there's that. At least driving, you don't hear it. Not sure. Well, I'm sure about the pulse. Feels like it's almost hitting a rev limiter. Might be running, I don't know. Might be running out of fuel. Not physically supplied, but the contacts might not be able to be keeping up at the RPM. I don't know, she feels like she clears out. E-brake's off, so that's not on me. I don't know, maybe I'm feeling something. Maybe the cobwebs just have to be blown out of it. Still running. Fuel pump's still on. So, we're good so far. The idle on this thing's weird. I swear it sounded a lot higher than it was. And now we're a lot lower than it was. I think there's something going on with the TBS sensor. Because about quarter throttle, it pulses. Yeah, about quarter throttle, I get like a pulse when I'm driving. I can feel it, but you can power through it. Excuse me. So I'm not sure. If my gen light is trying to come on or not. No, it's off. It's just the I guess the reflection or the glare. It looks like it's faintly on, but it's not. So I'm trying to use a gen light and an oil pressure light to make sure I'm still running because I can barely hear this thing. Tell you one thing, this is shush. Tell you one thing, this is dramatically different in driving the other Type 3. The blue one I just did. Same owner. This one's slower. By a lot. Oh, she gets up and cruises about the same. I don't trust the speedometer since I'm doing 70. But yeah, quick little loop. Don't worry, Ossifers. It's just another dumbass driving video of mine. Anyway, back to the shop. No horn. Oh, horn. Hey. Yeah, back to the shop. The car's running good. I'll check out, make sure no leaks developed. Anything like that. But, yeah, she's driving good. Brakes are fine. Didn't go anything weird. Lights are staying off, so I know I have oil pressure and the engine's running or charging. I did check it at Chooch, or you know, at RPM. We are running like 13.7, 14.1, anything above pretty much idle-ish. So yeah, but this thing's running quite well. I wish I didn't have back-to-back comparisons with that blue car, because the blue car, like I said, what's it, 1800 in the back of that thing, 1830 something or whatever it came out to, math. So much more fun, especially when it warms up. Cold engine, it's temperamental, but I can't say anything about that other than I don't know any specs on it. But this one, man, this if you just want to go, get into town, you know, like get in the car, go to town, church maybe. This is fine. Starts up, drives, stops. It's a Volkswagen early, plus it looks weird, turns heads, checks all the boxes. Just not going to get anywhere fast. But with that said, join me on the big cam. Unless developments happen, of course. Alright, we're back. E-brake. Ooh, we are back. Shut this down. Well, I'll let it run. I don't know if it's picking up, but it does have a super low idle. I want to throw my gauge on it and see where it's at. Is it bad? No. Is it lower than I like it? Yes. Other than that, car drove fine. Brakes are good. I'll do a double check, make sure everything's good. I'm gonna try to shove something under that pump. I might have some foam to shut it up more, because it's, I don't know if it's picking up in here, but it is. It's pretty noticeable. But with that said, join me on the big cam. I'll wrap up my diatribe. All right. Oh, it is warm. Close out the video. Yes, closing out the video. 68 Type 3. We're done. Brakes are working. They're fine. Like I said, I was tossing around taking it for a test drive. One, I like to drive the things, obviously, but if I don't need to, I'm not going to. But doing the master, especially that wheel cylinder acting up on me, not wanting to take a bleed, I wanted to make sure that having brakes in the shop was still going to obviously translate to the road when they get hot. It did. No, I have no leaks. Everything's holding. Nothing out of the ordinary. So we're good there. Fuel pump relocated. That fuel pressure regulator, I'm happy it's gone. It doesn't need it. So fuel pump's done. Rear brakes holding. Master cylinder's working. Like I said, I did adjust timing. It was reading way advanced. And I don't know why. Distributor was tight when I checked it, but it's, I don't know, fine. It's also idling for the engine's so quiet that I thought, sorry, I had to burp. I thought it was idling way low. Now it's right at 900, which is perfect. It's a generator engine, so you need a little extra chooch. So it charges, it stops, it pumps fuel, it's done. Test drive went well. I mean, the car, compared to the blue one, if you watched this episode or this channel enough, same owner has the blue car. He loves driving the blue car because it has power. This one, you know, it's just pedantic. It'll get you where you need to go, pretty much. I think I said that in my test drive. But with that said, gonna end the episode. Car's done. Hopefully it gets picked up soon. You know, getting paid's nice. And yeah, work on this guy next. But anyway, if you like this episode, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you do. I promise you we will chit chat. As always, thanks for watching. Hopefully see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.